Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. It is Bruce Short, the Michael Germ Hotels. And today we got a very special guest. We got Cesar is in the house, the author,
Thank you.
author of The Recovery. How you doing?
Thank you. Doing great. Doing great. Great seeing you as usual. And thanks for having me.
Appreciate you being here. Today we're going to be talking about the book that he wrote called The Recovery. And everybody talks about this book like it's been buzzing all over the place. I see it all over TikTok and everything. But the first question I always ask is, how did you get started in this business?
Wow. It was a while ago,
Mhm.
late 90s.
Nice.
I was still living in Brazil. That's where I'm from. And I was a really bad student.
Okay.
So I couldn't be a lawyer or a doctor. So I got a job in a hotel. It was the Renaissance Hotel in São Paulo. They just opened, amazing hotel.
Oh wow.
And I started as a room service assistant waiter. And then I decided to join. I really enjoy the atmosphere, the ambience. And then I joined the hospitality school.
Hmm.
And I transferred to Switzerland. I spent a couple of years there to finish my studies and came to the US in 2001 for a 1 year internship that became 25.
Tell me what inspired you to write this book.
It was a journey. It started really, half of the book was I wrote when I became sober. So it was just kind of learning, right, how to become sober.
Mm.
So there's a lot of introspection, a lot of looking inner words and processing information. So it's almost like journaling. And I start writing as if it would be a book, but I really never had the intent at the time. And then around COVID, I connected with a friend of mine, which is an author of a couple books. And I noticed that he stopped drinking as well.
Oh wow.
So we reconnected. And I said, hey, by the way, I wrote this a while back. Take a look. And he called me back, said, you have something here. So just go and finish it. And thankfully, at that time in my life, I was about 8 years sober.
Hmm.
And then I kind of was a little bit beyond the guilt and shame stage of not sharing. And then I said, listen, if I can, right, help someone by sharing my story, giving someone hope, why not?
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about their life and, how their life changed afterwards, but nobody really talks about the challenges that their body has went through and how their body changed afterwards. Like, can you share like some of the things that happened physically to you when things started turning around for you?
Yeah. So when I started getting sober,
Yeah.
wow, I've never got this question. So that is a great one. It is a progressive change. In the beginning, it's weird. Like the first 6 months to a year is almost like a little hazy period, right? Where you're still not having any major improvement short term,
Hmm.
but you start getting more clarity head wise, emotionally. You become kind of processing emotions because in my case, it was a daily occurrence where I drank. So I was really numbing and not processing or feeling emotions, right, in a conscious state per se. So so that is relearning that. That to me was really interesting. And then thankfully, after that, you start feeling much better, more energy. But also in the beginning, it's challenging because you have cravings. You wanna it's not easy, but you start seeing a lot of positive changes, which thankfully for me was constant reminders like, hey, just stay here on this path and really keeps getting better and better. Because it's tough. When I was drinking a lot, it was you have bad reactions, man. Like you panic attacks, heart flutters, you get the shakes, and so there's a lot of things that you start saying, "Ooh, this is not good." Right? I gotta do something about it. So
I need a drink to stop this.
yeah, exactly.
But they say that it's the hardest thing to stop is like drinking cold turkey because you can die. Like,
Yes, you can. That's interesting. That's one thing that I learned as I went from my sobriety journey. Really, alcohol is the only substance that can really kill you, right? I mean, even though there's more potent drugs out there,
hmm,
somehow you don't have the risk of death if you like stop control. But yeah, with alcohol you can. So So it's tricky. Yeah,
Was
thankfully
was
for
that like ever in the back of your mind, like, hey, like I can die? Or,
not really as much, because to me, like, I felt that I had like tried a few times and I knew like, okay, I didn't have any major reactions, so there wasn't a fear per se. Mine was more the opposite. Like, hey, if I don't stop, hey, I'll be heading there soon. So yeah, yeah.
that makes sense. That makes sense. For what type of damage have you seen? Not necessarily for you, but um, other people that have recovered and went through the struggle. Like I heard, like liver, kidneys, how it like damages your internal organs.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been like so fortunate in many ways, like health wise, professionally, family, financially. Because to your point, there are people that really suffers in one or many of these areas, and yeah, and I know personally many people and friends that unfortunately have had lasting effects of their behavior and addiction, which is pretty sad. Because yeah, you may have like whatever, a fatty liver, cirrhosis, which then you really got to be careful, right? Because you start kind of really having to watch out even normal kind of foods or consumption. You got to be really careful, right? Because you got to know what your body can process and can't process, memory, physically. So yeah, being very fortunate. And I think that's why it's important for part of this awareness. Listen, I don't preach to anyone not
Yeah.
to do something or do something, right? Everyone has their choices. But whatever, if there's a possible change that you can do to impact your life in a positive way, it's a great one, because it's unfortunate. A lot of times people choose to make a change when you're really forced
Yeah.
and when something major happens. So I think if people can avoid that before that happens, it's not easy, but it's certainly optimal in my opinion.
Nice, nice. Listen, where can everybody get the book?
The book you can get in Amazon. So it was fun because I first published in paperback and then hardcover, and then I recorded the book on audio.
Yeah,
So that was really fun. It's hard work, but it's fun. Yeah, recording is pretty tiring, but I really enjoy the process. So you have all these different formats in Amazon. It's called Powers of Addiction, Finding Freedom in Acceptance and Recovery. And yeah, happy to also connect with anyone. I didn't do this to make money, so happy to give free copies or whatever, just really to share. But yeah, has been a fun journey.
Wow, wow. Listen, I can imagine. I think writing a book and recording the book was harder than anything else you've probably done in your career.
Yes, it's funny because like I was such a bad student that I never, if you have told me that I would write a book eventually, I'll say you're crazy. There's never happening. But yeah, it has been a fun process. And then I also self-published,
Yeah.
which is much easier, right? I know people that went through the traditional publishing, and that's tough because you got to get an agent and it's a long process, couple of years. You got to get a publisher, but Amazon made it much easier. So you just go there. Anyone can be a writer. Anyone can be
Correct.
a writer.
Correct. The good thing about self-publishing is that you get to keep a lot of money. Like they take everything, like everything from you when you go to one of these big publishing houses. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is like that's one big aha moment. Yeah, I think very few people make money writing books.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. We're definitely not chicken soup for the soul. Okay.
Yes.
So how can everybody get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can just Google my name via LinkedIn, Cesar Wurm. I also have a website, cesarwurm.com. Happy to connect with anyone and just talk about, hospitality, life. So yeah, feel free to reach out. It's the only Cesar Wurm out there. So
Yeah.
can't miss it.
And thank you for tuning to another episode. This is Bruce Jordan, the Michael Jordan Hotels, signing out.
That's it. It's a wrap. Click 8. It's in the books. I want to thank Bruce, the Michael Jordan of hospitality, for being at Click 8, creating all this great content for us. Great speakers, great panels. Hey, you need a hospitality intern? We can help you with that as well. And guess what? We had 2 Lifetime Achievement Awards, 2 Hotel Development Deals of the Year. We're going to be back next year. Make sure you join us.